3 batsmen in the last 1 year, scoring 55% of the runs scored by the team, and that's what you expect from the top 3 batsmen.
Azaz with that kind of a slingy action will bring the ball back in to left-hander Imamul Haq. The strong offside field. Not too many fielders catching. They need wickets desperately to try and rattle up Pakistan if they can. Just the one fielder Gully in the catching area.
They've been disciplined before the break. And that's what you can expect from them. None of them look
to be able to pace an innings. They needed to bat 50 overs. They need to do so in the future. And when they bat 50 overs, they will get a reasonably good score on the board and learn how to pace the innings. Somebody can get a big score.
And what's really admirable is none of them are professional cricketers. Unlike the other nations, they have got a different job, a day job, different profession, different careers. Cheeky run back. Good calling, good understanding between both the batsmen. And that's so important when you take a single. It's not just about how quick you run, but it's also decision making. A good call from Imamul Haq.
Important thing is the early decisive call from the batsman and not hesitate once he's made the call. It's been a tidy over, just the 2 singles conceded so far. Did somebody say catch it? It has to be fetch it. Fine boundary from Imamul Haq to win the over. It's 41 for no loss. The top order in the recent past, as VVS mentioned, has been doing a terrific job for Pakistan and doing it again.
Well done.
If they're saving is a habit, and when the going is good, you don't want to throw it away.
Winning is a habit, and they have been ruthless. Pakistan, in their bowling, in their fielding, there was energy when they were fielding. boundary of the previous over last delivery, using his feet. Excellent placement of Imamul Haq. Very proactive, showing that positive intent with his footwork. Never ever losing the position. And that's so important, is you look to pounce on the bowlers, to put pressure on the bowlers. Use the crease, use the feet, not allow the bowlers to settle down.
Finish on the ring, please. Finish on the ring. Finish on the ring.
Spin for the first time, Ihsan Khan. Big appeal, they're starting to celebrate, and up goes the finger. A delayed decision from the umpire. And Zaman asking his partner, he's not too sure himself if he nicked it, but he certainly is not going to review it because he's walking back to the pavilion. The first wicket has gone down, and Zaman, the man, dismissed.
Too close to cut. They get that way, just the bottom edge. And a very good catch by the wicket keeper.
Yep, lot expected from Zaman, but he's...
हमारी यारियों को हमसे बेहतर
For you. Now you can go, yeah, now you can go. Yeah.
Slip in position, that's the way to go. Not going to get the new ball to turn.
Cute.
Ball about just 4 overs old.
Let's go, Uncle. No. Yeah.
Actually a difficult catch by McKennie.
Great start here, Khan.
As the
Great
keeper.
start here, Khan.
Find that it's a big deviation. Hit him on the thigh. And took it on the second attempt. So did not panic.
That's good running between the wickets. Imamul Haq, he was running to the danger area.
Down.
Just look the intensity with which he runs the first run. Quick to turn. That's brilliant running by the young man.
And that's only possible if you're 100% fit. They worked hard on the fitness that's been spoken about when Pakistan were fielding. And also the recovery after having fielded for 38 overs under temperatures which is about 41, 42. Coming back, showing that effort. You can see the ultra edge confirmation hitting the bottom of the bat. Was taken the second attempt by the keeper.
Catch down. Right after kid.
Another shot at catch. Doesn't have enough to get to the boundary. Settle for 2.
Oh, keeper, please.
Very elegant player, Babar Azam.
Nice, Khan. Very nice,
Technically
Khan.
sound.
Very nice, Khan.
Great hands. Knows how to maneuver the ball. He's got a lot of time playing the fast bowlers. A delight to watch.
Oh, yeah. Yes, please, Hutch.
End of a successful over. It's 45 for 1. And India take on Pakistan. A lot of enthusiasm about that match. This particular match, Pakistan on a roll. They've completely dominated proceedings. Might have lost the toss, Pakistan. They're in complete control of the match. Young talent you mentioned, Babar Azam. He has some terrific numbers, VVS. Young man at the beginning of his career. A lot of people will be nervous. They will be tested. But he's come out all guns blazing, Babar Azam.
Loves playing in the UAE. Got a career average of 55, which is excellent. Strike rate above 80-85. Bats at number 3, the fulcrum of this Pakistan batting lineup. His conversion rate also is excellent, and that is what you expect from a number 3 batsman. Once you get your eye in, do you make it count? Do you convert that into a big 100? And Babar Azam, in his short career, has just done that for his team.
Can't get the second. Good bit of work in the deep. He's got terrific numbers, especially in the UAE. And like I mentioned earlier, VBS an average of close to 55 at a strike rate of 85. There's a lethal combination with the bat. Those numbers are match-winning numbers. First player to score 5 consecutive tons in ODIs in one country, that is UAE. Joins second fastest to 1,000 runs in ODIs. Averages 89.1 in one-day internationals played in the UAE. And that's why you said he likes playing here.
And he will be the big fish in this Asia Cup. Pakistan the strong favourites in this tournament. Loves playing in the UAE, and that's a phenomenal average. UAE is the home ground for Pakistan, and that's a phenomenal average. Close to 90 in 13 matches, 806 runs at a strike rate of 87. He'll be the big fish for the opposition LS in this tournament.
And as a batsman, what you're looking at is the conversion rate, 50s into 100s. The short career so far, he's gone past 58 times and 5 of those have been 100s. That shows that he's got the temperament and the skills to convert the 50 into 100 more often than not. Oh, lucky that the non-striker was in. No damage done. It's 46 for 1.
Joe Malik there just getting himself ready. Hopefully he won't be getting a hit, but you've got to think we're in the next ball. Dean Jones and the great Kumar Sangakkara coming in for us. Welcome to Kumar. It's just a bit of a doddle here at the moment for Pakistan.
Thank you, Dino. It's always lovely to commentate next to you. Yes, it does seem a bit easy for Pakistan at the moment, but having said that, Ehsan Khan, first delivery as an off-spinner in the Asia Cup, has got rid of dangerous Fakhar Zaman.
No one, please. No one, squeeze.
It's been a few positives just like that for Hong Kong in this game.
Let's go.
He was ecstatic having gotten that wicket. Fakhar Zaman, one of the best players in one-day cricket in the world at the moment. Good catch by the wicket-keeper as well.
Yeah,
So that concludes the power play. So they've finished the 10 overs now. So they can easily push the field out as much as they like, but they haven't. They've got a slip in place. We've got another, 6 fieldsmen inside the circle, so.
Ben. Yes,
It's well bowled.
nice gone. Very good gone.
Imamul Haq seems to favour that square drive quite a lot, even to fast bowlers and now to the spinner. He's looking for that gap behind point.
Yeah, no run.
Not bad at all from Ehsan Khan, Dino. Shown to be accurate, bowls at good pace. Goes into the pitch, uses the pitch to see if there's any grip.
Yeah, he's an outstanding. He's been around for a while. He's taken a lot of wickets for Hong Kong.
Oh!
There he is there. Remember a very good off-spinner when I was a young boy that come through called John Tracos from Zimbabwe. He played forever for them, and he's doing, and this lad here is doing the same thing. Same type of role, but good off-spin. Doesn't give you anything.
Yeah,
It's the quicker one. Very, very smart bowling.
And the batsman had to be a bit careful. Imamul Haq looking for the boundaries rather than the singles. When a bowler is bowling well like Ehsan Khan is, you need to rotate strike, keep things simple, get back into rhythm by making sure the scoreboard ticks over. He's looking to cut all the time, and there he makes contact behind point. Hits it well enough for a couple, but that's been a good over from Ehsan Khan as the 11th over comes to an end in Pakistan, a 48 for 1. Well flighted the first ball, but well met by Babar Azam. Hit through to the sweeper for 1. It's a good start. Both these spinners showing a lot of accuracy over their careers. Strike spinners, both of them, take a lot of wickets for Hong Kong. They would dearly love another wicket. Try and make sure they inflict maximum damage on Pakistan in the chase of this total. Small. Sometimes these small totals are annoying to chase.
No one, please. Really tight, please, Khan.
It's a nice problem to have sometimes as a batsman. I'd rather chase a small total than 350 any day of the week. Finds the outside edge a couple more. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot here if I can. Kumar Sangakkara, we know we're all looking forward to the India versus Pakistan match in a few days' time. And the question mark is what you've seen of Pakistan tonight. Do you think they've got the right personnel to knock over India, who been saying that they're the second favourite, but to me they're not. They're the favourites to me to win this competition.
Sega legs, it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
Nadim Ahmed. It's the highest wicket taker for Hong Kong in ODIs. And 4 for 51 against, guess who? Pakistan in 2008 in the same competition. Bowls quickly again, bowls across the left-hander, round the wicket, and LBW comes into play. Also, there's a slip in play, so if he manages to slide one across and take that outside edge, there's a man waiting to take the catch. Coming back to your question, Dino. Oh, that's well played. Again, sliding across, but this time the batsman good enough to get a lot of bat on the ball. Brilliant bit of fielding on the boundary line. Keeps the batsman to 3. Well, I think this was kind of a good test for that Pakistan pace attack. Yes, they might not have looked as penetrative as you might like them to be against a side like Hong Kong. And that's safe. 3 runs.
Let's go here, Dino!
And when they do come up against a strong batting lineup like India, you will need them to make use of that new ball a bit better. Maybe Mohammad Amir, who's been a chief destroyer of the Indian lineup for a while, would like to get some wickets. The moment he starts swinging the ball back into the right-handers, the outside edge comes into play as well. The over ends 54 for 1 Pakistan. Googlies, but he needs to have a little bit more control. He didn't have the best of PSLs, Dino, so he needs to keep getting his confidence up, making sure that his leg spinner is working, not just his googly. But it's just like the balance of the Pakistan side. India's got a very well balanced side. They've got Bumrah, who's a fantastic bowler now in every format. With Hardik Pandya, who balances them out as a fast bowling all-rounder. They've got their spinners, both of them wrist spinners, one right arm, one left arm. They've both done very, very well in the top 10 rankings for bowlers. So I think it's going to be a great competition. And I think it'll be the ability of Pakistan to set or chase down a total close to 300. That'll really be the key.
You've deflected that beautifully, as you've done right throughout your whole career. But if it was tomorrow, the game was being played tomorrow, who are you leaning towards at the moment for what you've seen today? Is it India or Pakistan?
Well, I haven't seen the new look Indian team as such. The usual suspects are all there. Rohit Sharma, Abhishek Dhawan at the top of the order. You know the bowling attack. But you know they haven't had a number 4 or consistent number 5 for a while. Virat Kohli is not here. And that's a good down. And that is out. That should be dead. There is an appeal.
Well, he hasn't given it. He hasn't given it. So they're having a bit of a mother's meeting here.
Why do you think he hasn't given that one, Dino?
Well, you gave it out, as all keepers do, and so many keepers get it wrong occasionally.
That's got to be out, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. We'll just have to look at the replay.
I am turning 41, but I hope my eyesight isn't that bad. There was an angle, might have been heading down leg side, might have been why the umpire didn't give that out, but on first sight, first look, that looked plumb right back on the stumps, and I reckon that's hitting middle and leg.
Well, I think it's hitting almost all of them, unless he's hit it. He's just been done playing for spin. It wasn't on. It's gone on with the arm, and that's at the knee roll. It's not the height. Did he get an edge? No, he... Oh, hang on now. Now, Well, just look at has the ball gone past the inside edge of the bat? This is what the third umpire, Rod Tucker, will be looking at. No, it's past, I think. And I think you might want to have a look at it.
What?
Well, he says it's actually hit. That's the reason why he's given it not out, because he's hit it.
Where has he hit that one? The spike has to match the visual with the ball next to the edge of the bat. I reckon he's missed that. I think he's got very, very lucky on technology here. I reckon that's out. I don't think he's got any bat to it. There was a little spike, but it's well after the ball's past the edge of the bat.
Well, the umpire did not give it out originally, and they obviously went upstairs and... Well, the technology sees it might have just had a little bit of a pause there before we actually saw whether or not there was a sound.
Well, the ball, at the time, is in line with that edge of the bat. There has to be a spike.
Yeah.
And if there's a spike after the ball's past the edge, you can't say that it's taken the edge.
Well, light travels faster than sound. That's what I learned at school anyway.
Dear, let me tell you, that's got nothing to do with this situation, but well tried.
Try to deflect. Let's have a little look here. There it is there. And then, see there's a little... Just as we go for the next frame, there it is there. So it just took a while for the effects mics to pick it up.
I think it's touched the pad. It's past the edge, touched the pad. That's where the first spike is. And then you're out. Anyway, it's a confusing time for everyone, especially Dean Jones, and Pakistan are 56 for 1.
एक नया ख्वाब.
Bit of purchase there.
Just the pace at which both these bowlers bowl and the trajectory. They're bowling it into the wicket, so if there's any softness in the wicket, the ball grips, holds, and then turns.
How good is that? That's gone all the way for 6.
Well, that's one way to minimize turn and purchase on the wicket, get to the pitch, hit it over the field. Babar Azam showing how good he is, getting to the pitch of the ball and hitting against the spin over mid-on. Wonderful shot.
It was his first stride. It was his first try. It was such a positive intent. The commitment down the pitch, I love that. He has developed into a wonderful player. Very good technician, this lad. The one thing about him, he does have the power in the power play. We know that through PSL. He can go about 125 strike rates to 130, but as it goes into once the power play finishes, he does drop his strike rate a little. It's one of the problems he does have a little bit. But you need those type of players to hold the team together, and you get hitters with good strike rates around him. And my only question is that 2 batsmen in, one needs to go hard here and the other one needs to just work the ball around. Now, he's doing a wonderful job here. Got a good strike rate of close to up to 80s and 90s at the moment. Do you ever watch your strike rates when it comes up on the ball than you were playing?
It just depends. Stage of the game, the runs we're chasing. My goal was, at the back end of my career, was to end up with a minimum of a 100 strike rate or better at the end of a one-day innings. In T20, it's got to be much higher than that, 130 to 140 by the time we finish, depending on the conditions. But you have a left armer and a right armer bowling. A left arm and a left hand and a right hander batting. Pick your bowler, talk to each other. Which bowler are you comfortable with taking a risk against, and commit to it. Another over ends. Pakistan 64.
they've got to do here. Both these batsmen have got to start to use their feet against quality spin.
There is a big gap towards extra cover. There is a slip in place, yes, but if you play a good forward defensive or you're on the back foot, you have the gaps to push the ball into and rotate strike.
Catch! Keeper!
Front edge there, quick call.
That's what you need to do. The scoreboard ticking over. Make sure every opportunity you get to cross the other side, you take it. The ball gripping again on the surface. It's bowled well, Ehsan Khan. A flat trajectory pushes left-handers on the back foot quite often. You tend to misread the length.
Look at me.
Imam ul Haq, very, very lucky to get away from being given out LBW.
Looking for two if he runs the first one hard.
Back up, please.
Barbara Hyatt there.
Nito.
Now I think this is where Imam went down the pitch earlier and played it well and then stood back. I just get the feeling for me what I've seen of Ehsan Khan. He doesn't like batsmen coming at him. And I think Imam needs to keep putting the foot down and keeping pressure on this man here, because he'll get into a line of length and he's hard to get rid of. I don't mind that. That's okay. You've got to be positive.
Make sure you have a second line of defense when you're coming down the track. If you do miss the ball, got the pad in the way. Risk worth taking, but you have to be committed.
And because he went down the pitch, he's bowled the flatter and shorter one outside off stump. It nearly set up a chance to hit it for four. So when you're using your feet to the spinners, it's deep in the crease like it. See, this is how you set the spinners up to get them to bowl to your lengths.
Yeah, the pressure was building, poor fielding by Barbara Hyatt. Should have stopped that. No run required there. They put the left-hander under more pressure. But I like the way these two spinners are bowling. They're really controlling the Pakistan batsmen.
And a magnificent shot, and that will be four. Barbara on the back foot, smashing it for four, and it's because of both batsmen, left-hand, right-hand batsmen, using their feet. It's 71 for 1. Cagey bowler, this young man, Nadeem. Wow. What do you think of that one, umpire Kumar Sangakkara?
If it pitched in line, it is dead. Let's wait and see. If that pitched in line, that's the only thing that could have saved the batsman, as it pitched in line.
Let's straighten up there. That's worth a shout. A wonderful appeal.
Down one.
As we welcome Amir Sohail to come into the crease here, and also been a very good umpire over the years.
Who told you that?
You're never out when you batted. Like myself.
Well, the reason why the producer asked me to get in the commentary box, just to throw the red herring to your conversation and Sangas. You were debating on that previous referral that was out or not. So let's change the topic. Discuss something else.
It's bowling beautifully here. Lovely pace and trajectory, what you're talking about here. Now, did it pitch?
Excellent, Nito.
Yeah. Well, that's the reason why You wanted it out, Kumar. You make a great umpire. They're looking for two. Watch the run the first one hard. They'll come back for two. Great running. Oh, it was all done by the first run.
The reason why it was excellent running, he played that ball off the back foot. And from there, gaining the momentum, it was incredible. And that's where Babar Azam is so good. Just pushing the ball into the calves, and he runs well.
The greatest I saw do that was when I first, as a boy, was Java Mandad. Learned so much. He was the greatest runner between the wickets I saw. He used to weight the ball so beautifully on the leg side, particularly off the quicks, make the ball somehow stop inside the circle, run the first one hard and pinch two.
You're not bad yourself, Dino.
He was the greatest. MS Dhoni's the best in the world now, though. Oh, trust me on that. 74 for 1.
And
match is done.
Look, Sangha, it was always going to be an arduous task for Hong Kong batsmen to deal with Pakistani pace attack and the spinners. But you have to give them credit. They came out, showed they got the basic of the game right. They could certainly improve.
Keeper!
They need more exposure at this level. And I think they have the potential to improve.
Absolutely, they showed glimpses of what they can do as batsmen. Anshuman Rath, I watched him play quite a lot, and I'm very impressed with him. Put a bit of running between the openers, really, put the skids on to what was developing to be a really fruitful partnership. Babar Hyatt, another great player. Dean Jones has really called him as one of the players to watch, but unfortunately today could never get going. But they had useful partnerships, and they should have got a lot more than that 117. It would have been, a good total for these two spinners to show what they can do on this world stage. And you can't but help be impressed by these two spinners. They bowl beautifully.
Yeah, they're not new to the Asia Cup. They played there in 2004, 2008, and they weren't so close. Great piece of fielding. Nearly made the 2015 World Cup qualification. So, but you need a couple of good spinners like these two, don't you? And you need a couple of good batters to get you through. And maybe one pacer. Afsal, I think, was outstanding with the ball today until Fakhar Zaman took him on a little bit. Just got to improve their batting, as there always is with the associate teams. It's always been the weakest link.
Problem with these teams, they play a shorter version of the game too often and doesn't allow them to improve their basics of the game. And I think they should be more exposed in the longer version of the game, so they come back as a better player.
Down! One.
Look at the way these guys are hit. What we call hitting targets. Well, people say hitting holes, but targets, I like to call them players on the boundary. You keep hitting the ball to them, you've got control of the game as a batsman. And as the ball's going to the fieldsman in the ring, in the inner ring, got what I call the offensive ring, then you're in trouble. So you've got to find the holes no matter where the ball's pitched off the spinners. And he finds a target inside the circle. So that ends the over. 17 overs gone, 78 for 1. nicely. Looking to use his feet. How good a shot is that? Probably the shot of the day for me.
And he does it with consummate ease. Shimmy down the track, getting to the pitch of the ball. Just rotation of the wrist. And he was rewarded very nicely, Babar Azam.
It's one of the hallmarks of Babar Azam's batting. You know, the fact that what he lacks in power, he makes up for it in getting the ball into gaps, using his feet, hitting the ball along the ground and into gaps. So a lot to like about this young man. He's been an outstanding performer in Pakistan over the last few years.
And Kumar, he's only one away for 2,000 runs here in one-day international cricket here. So there it is, 2,000 runs.
Well done, Baba. He's growing in stature every day, Babar Azam. He's an able batsman. He's not only adept against fast bowlers, he plays spin so well.
Absolutely, I've had the pleasure of playing with him in the PSL. He's also a top bloke, very nice guy, works really hard.
Let's go, Hong Kong!
He is the second fastest to 2,000 runs. A very, very credible performance.
Tell you what, there's some great names amongst them, wasn't there? The great Zahir Abbas, what a player he was. KP and Hashim Amla, amazing players, all of them. KP has been in contact with you already. He'll be joining us soon. There it is there. Only this goes to show how good a player Hashim Amla was. 40, just 40 innings for him to get to 2,000 ODI runs. Brilliant. KP will be talking us through every run probably in another 24 hours. Gee, he was a good player, wasn't he? Tremendous. Zahir Abbas. Saw only a bit of him as a boy, unfortunately. He played in the World Series cricket. Had an amazing cutter of the ball.
I thought he was your contemporary, your peer. Apparently not.
It's going to be a long tour, the Asia Cup. Very long tour. All our love goes to Zahir and Sam, his lovely wife, being one of the greats for Pakistan cricket.
Down.
And that'll run away for 4. Gee, he's a good player to watch, Baba, isn't he?
No real fuss about that stroke, just waited on that delivery to come close, and it just guided the ball. Effortless.
Now his strike rate's up to 110. So they're the little things I like to think, because if the team is going bad and you're going at 85 plus, you're doing your job, so you don't need to crank it up anymore. It's always a good indicator, I think, as a batsman. You don't have to change too much.
And he's done it quite easily, Dino. There's not been too many shots in anger. It's just been clinical batting as another over comes to an end in Pakistan, 88 for 1.
So, but I still think it's about.
No one in there, Baba.
See, Hong Kong have lost their money now. Their money's coming from the ICC because they're not an ODI team anymore. So they're going to have to dig deep around Hong Kong to try to help the money and develop the game in these parts of the world.
Good work, Epo.
But not only they have to pump money in the system, but also they have to do something for the players' benefit as well. That was a good stroke, but finds the fielder. Only a single.
Come on, Nats. Come on, Nats.
It's an interesting discussion with the level. Thank you very much, Aki_Gup. Asked the expert, well, the level of cricket nowadays, shouldn't associate nations be given more support in terms of more matches to be played with full member teams of financial support? Asked the expert. So, boys, maybe when, say, an Australian team comes over to Sri Lanka, could they play a couple of matches in Hong Kong and in Singapore and these countries on the way through?
I'm sure there has to be a mechanism where that can be arranged, because, you know, Afghanistan and Ireland have got test status, and test status getting there is one thing, but then having enough games to really improve is another, and you are not going to improve unless you play the best sides in the world on a somewhat regular basis. So I think if the game is to be not just taken to new territories and test and ODI status given to teams for the sake of it, there has to be a system in place where you pull them up to a standard that makes cricket very, very interesting at levels like the Asia Cup or the World Cup.
See, if you read the history books, how Sri Lankan cricket improved, MCC 11s used to visit very frequently there, and that's how the standard of the game raised in Sri Lanka, and it's a good call, you know. Aussie team traveling to Sri Lanka, Pakistan, India, playing couple of games there in Hong Kong, really helped to raise their standard.
Out and helping Hong Kong and other teams out. Now Navas comes on. You know, it's interesting, New Zealand tried to play test cricket straight after the Second World War. I think they played 2 test matches against Australia and they lost badly, and they didn't play another test match for another 30 years. Oh, that's silly, isn't it? And then they end up being trying to be part of our first class structure and 50 over matches. Gillette Cup, I remember the games were there. So, and then, of course, look at them now. They're an amazing country, how so competitive. There's hardly anyone there. Got 7 million people population, and it's been so good for the game and for world cricket. And just a matter of keep investing the money into countries like Hong Kong. Keep putting the money. I think the ICC needs to keep putting the money in the associate countries. It's all very well. They drop the ODI status. That's fine, but I still don't think they should lose their funding. I really don't. Maybe a reduction, that's fine, but not complete. Because they've just knocked over 2 teams. UAE and Nepal, who have got ODI status, and they kept them all out under 100 in their last 2 matches.
Absolutely. Funding is important, and ICC needs to keep an eye on not just how much funding goes in, but how the funding is used. Make sure the utilization is exactly as it should be, and the money goes to the right areas for the right reasons.
It's all about recognizing the potential. See, they've been exposed at this level. They have to realize Hong Kong has the potential. There are quite a few youngsters there.
Well, this is how they got here. They lost a bag one against Malaysia, Hong Kong, and then they punched up Singapore by 5 wickets and smashed UAE. Now, they got ODI status. They beat them by 182. They got missed out and no result against Oman. And Nepal, they've knocked them over, and they then followed up with UAE again in a rain-reduced match. So, you know what? I admire Hong Kong. They lost their ODI status. They were upset. But I'll tell you what, the best way to come back and prove to the world that you're keen on your cricket is to beat everyone. And that's what they've done since. And it's well done to them and their association, their board officials and their players. We've been there for the Hong Kong Blitz. The Sixers tournament's a lot of fun. We're all played in that in our times. Oh, gee, that's a great weekend there. And playing in their 3rd Asia Cup now, so well done. Haven't played that well today, sadly. Only with the bat. So end of the over, 93 for 1.
And good to see Pakistan cruising. It's been a partnership where there were some scintillating shots, and Pakistan looking well prepared. It's the only game before they play India on the 19th, and all 3 departments were brilliant today. Just as to see that he gets an underneath edge, he gets a 2nd wicket. Yes, Khan, too close to the body to be playing the cut shot, and the talented Babar Azam has to go.
A very good catch by the wicketkeeper. It was inside edge. He stayed aligned to that delivery. A very good take. And a good wicket for Ehsan. He was prolific in the qualifiers. He carries on. His 2nd wicket. Babar Azam goes for 33 from 36 deliveries. And it's 93 for 2 now.
तू इतना कूल होके कांप रहा है?
Oh, it's been impressive. Off spinner Ehsan.
It's a really good catch as well. Too close to the body to be playing the cut shot. It was more or less off stump. Confirmation from the ultra edge, hitting the bottom of the bat. And it happens as it gets very close to the wicket keeper. So it's a lovely take. Off piece picked up too. Having a good game.
Keep going, Hickard. Take us to 3, my boy. Take us to 3. Baba, no one, pal. No one.
And good thing about Ehsan as a bowler, he doesn't get predictable to the batsman. He keeps on wearing his line of length. At times he gives the ball a tweak to get the ball responding.
Come on, Hickard.
Shoaib Malik off the mark, with a mere push towards long on for a single.
No one, Sleepy. Your catch here, Anshi.
A really good over
Catch, bud.
wicket and just the one single that he conceded now. Early call from Imam ul Haq. Allow him to get the single and keep strike. It's 95 for 2. Good choice of delivery, but it's been called wide. The batsman giving the charge. Nawaz doing really well in altering the length, just a little too high. Sri Lanka, Afghanistan tomorrow. They'll come to you live from Abu Dhabi. They'll have to travel an hour and a half from Dubai to Abu Dhabi, but bring it to you live from the gorgeous stadium there. A must-win game for Sri Lanka. Clean connection. Hits it pretty well. Made the adjustment, having committed to the front foot, and dispatches it over the boundary line. A little class act. This guy, Imam ul Haq, also brings up the 100 for Pakistan.
Incredible stroke from Imam. Just flat batted that bouncer for 6 in front of mid-wicket. Strong bottom hand. Went flying. First 6 of the innings.
Superb. The previous delivery was a short delivery, and this one a long stride out. So he's just looking at the release of the bowler. Early release is going to be a fuller length. Excellent footwork from Imam. The field is in deep, running the first one hard. Will have to contend for the single. Early today, Hong Kong lost their first wicket. They are run out. At the best of running between the wickets, he slowed down as he approached the crease, and a soft dismissal looking to run down the third man. Giving the charge and finding the field. Imam ul Haq is not going to miss out. And the leg spinner getting into the act straight away. 2 wickets in his very first over. That was the first. Very good bowling performance. Exception on the field as well. Pakistan impressing one and all. a tricky time for a player to bat, even with somebody has the experience of Shoaib Malik. Just 14 required, where you don't want to get out. It's called second one for the over. Pakistan kept picking up wickets. The second wicket in his very first over. Shadab Khan getting into googly, and the left-hander came into action. Sherwani getting 3 in 1 over. Usman Khan got 2 wickets and 2 deliveries, was on a hat-trick. Just looking for timber all the time. The lower order batsman just succumbing, and succumbing very quickly. Smart bit of fielding. The last wicket was a run out. That was how the wickets went down for Hong Kong. They were bowled out for meagerly 116. Very strong all around the wicket. Shoaib Malik will keep strike. 104 for 2.
Yeah.
My style, my life.
Match one.
Quite convincing from the batsman. Imam Ulaq looking good.
Come on, Hong Kong.
Unbeaten on 42 of just 64
Take
deliveries.
yourself to 3,
Shoaib Malik, the new batsman in.
Yourself to
He's on 3. Imam Ulaq looked really proactive. Was a little tentative when he was playing the off-spinner, Ehsan. But against other bowlers, they looked in control.
Made some really good shots against the fast bowlers. The cricket delivery has been nudged away. Bit of a teaser for the fielder, who does well to pull it back. It's a classic example that if you have good temperament, good shot selection, even if you're troubled by one of the bowlers, you can still construct an innings. That's what Imam is doing at the moment. Third umpire taking a look.
Making it through you there, buddy.
If that was a boundary, no.
Let's go, Khan.
Right from the first ball, the intensity was there. Even in the batting display, I think the way they were running hard, converting the ones into twos, showing that urgency, and that's so important. Not a big total to chase, but if you want to become the best team in world cricket, it doesn't really matter who the opposition is. What matters is, are you executing your game plan? Are you achieving your targets? Are you improving in each and every department, in each and every match? And that was very obvious in the way Pakistan approached this match. They were ruthless.
Yeah, one of the things that all of us have spoken about is the level of fitness and the enthusiasm that's prevalent amongst this Pakistan unit. Once you're physically fit and physically very strong, even if you get a little tired, you have that physical energy which will push you mentally to go further, whether you're a bowler or a batsman. So I think they look a team that is difficult to beat unless the opposition plays outstanding cricket. Clean strike. On the bounce into the boundary. Boundary to end the over. It's a boundary for Imam. He gets to 49. It's 114 for 2.
हाई स्पीड इंटरनेट विद जैज़ सुपर 4G वाईफाई डिवाइसेस अब पहले 3 महीनों के लिए 50% एक्स्ट्रा डेटा के साथ फॉर न्यू कस्टमर्स। दुनिया को बता दो।
Milk, glucose, calcium, power of 3. Get ideas for free. Get adventures unlocked.
हमारी यारियों को हमसे बेहतर कोई नहीं समझ सकता, इसीलिए यूफोन देता है वीकली इंटरनेट प्लस, क्योंकि पाकिस्तानी नेटवर्क यूफोन के लिए सब कुछ।
Entertainment, anytime, anywhere.
My style, my life. Audionic, the sound master.
Canon Spring Roll.
Mid-wicket, but playing straight down the ground. Beautifully executed shot.
What does Shoaib Malik do? Pick up a single, give the opportunity for Imam to get a half century.
Doesn't have a half century so far. He's got 300s, 400s, beg your pardon, in his career so far in 9 matches. So that also shows that once he gets a start, he makes it count. And that's a very good habit to have, you know, because all great players have a tendency to make it count, not only for themselves but for the team. And that's something which Imam has displayed in his short career as of now. On strike, one more run to get to his 50.
Shows the hunger for more runs. Small little milestone is 50. It's a good milestone, no matter what level of the game that you play. But he is not completely satisfied with the 50. He wants to get more. Sent back. He's got every opportunity to get his first 50. And the hallmark of a good player is to pace his innings. Once you get in, make full use of it. Convert your 50 into hundreds, which is not easy. Much simpler when we sit in the air-conditioned commentary box. Difficult to do, especially in these hot and humid conditions.
The fitness, the character of the players will be tested.
It's a classical half-century from the left-hander. His first. He's got 400s against his name in one-day internationals. And he'll have to contend with just the 50 in this match, because Pakistan just need one more to win.
Very well played, young lad. Total in control. Shoaib Malik, the senior pro, congratulated the youngster. And the good thing for Pakistan is all the batsmen who got an opportunity to bat today looked good, looked in good nick. Even though Fakhar Zaman and Babar Azam didn't convert that into a substantial score, but they were in good nick. And that's it. A beautiful shot over mid-wicket. to finish the match in style. Shoaib Malik, the experienced pro.
A super shot to win the match. Just marginally back of a length. He used his bottom hand to really good effect. And it's a comprehensive win by Pakistan. No matter what the opposition is, the level of cricket that there is exhibited today by Pakistan would have made it very difficult for most teams. I think all the commentators have mentioned about the first half of the game that Pakistan were brilliant on the field. They bowled brilliantly, they fielded really, really well. Hence restricting the opposition to just 116 and reply getting to 120 for 2. Imam getting a splendid half century, 50 of 69, and winning it in the 24th over with 8 wickets in hand. He'll be in a good frame of mind to begin the tournament with a victory. Well, most people would have expected Pakistan to beat Hong Kong. Hong Kong tried the best, just overawed by the occasion and the skills of Pakistan in all 3 departments. Well prepared against India. Now Pakistan with this victory, and most of the players running themselves into good form either with the bat or the ball.